An 11-year-old boy is now the youngest person to walk across this country. He is here in our studio.
He just walked across the studio.
I just saw him. He's right there. We will share
job.
his inspiring story when we come back.
After living with type 1 diabetes for nearly his entire life, last year Noah Barnes decided to do something about it. Now he's the youngest person to walk across the U.S., and he's here to share his story. Noah's joined by Kusi King from UCSD's Pediatric Diabetes Research Center. Good morning.
Good morning.
Gentlemen.
Morning.
Noah, you walked all the way across America.
Yes.
How long did it take you?
11 months.
11 months. How many pairs of shoes did you wear out?
11.
11. Ironically, 11. A pair a month. That's great. What made you, obviously, you were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when you were really small. You were, what, 16, 18 months old?
16 months old.
16 months old. And you decided you wanted to do something. Take us through that process.
So I was having a rough week with my diabetes, and I asked my mom and dad, can I stop being a diabetic? And it doesn't work like that. So then I did some research on the computer 2 weeks later, saw this walk for a cure, and I asked my dad, can I walk there and be cured? And he said it was fundraising. And I asked him what was fundraising. So after explaining what fundraising was, I asked him, if I come up with a fundraiser, will you help me?
And he did.
And not at first.
Not at first? You had to convince him?
About 2 weeks later, I saw this Terry Fox documentary. Now, Terry Fox is a Canadian legend that ran across Canada for cancer. Now, I don't want to get too deep into that because you guys have to know.
And this is you. Our viewers are seeing pictures of you when you're on your. Do you remember where this was?
No.
No? You saw so many places, didn't you?
Yes. It gets hard to remember.
Yeah. Cece, talk to us about, I understand we're seeing an increase in type 1 diabetes diagnosis in kids under the age of 5?
Correct, and that's supposed to increase over the next 5 years as projected to. And we became associated both through my work at UCSD and through the Diabetes Research Connection, which is the charity that is being benefited from Noah's March with Noah. And I had the opportunity to walk with Noah for 7 miles at the very beginning of his trip this year down in Florida, and it was a wonderful experience. But yes, through his work and dedication, he has helped raise both funds and awareness for the Diabetes Research Connection, which is the group of, which is a 501c3 based here in San Diego. And what we do is we target early career scientists who have new ideas about how to cure, how to prevent, how to care for people with type 1 diabetes. And what we have been working with Noah and these researchers to do is come up with new ideas as to how to treat diabetes, better ideas for how to move the field forward.
And Noah, I got to ask you, what would you say to any kids that are about your age who might be diagnosed with type 1 diabetes? You've obviously, almost your whole life, and you did this big walk. What would you say to encourage those kids?
Hang in there.
Hang in there?
Yes.
Help's on the way, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Coming in 10 years, 5 years.
What do you think, Stacey?
Well, everybody has said for years that it's just around the corner. The truth is that this is a very complicated disease, and we're working and making great strides in both cell replacement therapies as well as in prevention through a number of promising studies that are on the way. So I can't tell you for certain, and I won't make any promises, but I can promise you that there are men and women across this country and across the world who are spending their time helping people like Noah and other people with type 1.
Is there any, do you have any idea we're talking about kids under 5 and the spike in the diagnosis there. What's the root cause? Do we have any idea?
I don't think we do at this point, to be quite honest.
Okay. And that's what this is all about, this fundraising, bringing awareness.
But you know, it's something that that's the type of project that the Diabetes Research Connection tries to fund. These ideas of what's causing it, getting at the root causes, these young scientists who are anxious to move the field forward.
Okay. Noah, I got to ask you real quickly before we go, what's next for you?
Dad's going to bike back, and then we're thinking about doing the driving tour. And in my noggin, I'm thinking about doing New Zealand and Australia.
Really? To just do it all again in a different continent?
Yes.
Different country. All right. Noah
Actually,
Barnes.
2 different countries.
2 different ones, yeah. Noah Barnes, thanks for your time, man. Thanks
You're
for getting up
welcome.
early and coming and sharing your inspiring story with us. Cece, thank you for coming
you.
and explaining things for us.